Hi, my name is Joe Rovere. This is going to be my in the bag for 2024. I don't think I've done an in the bag for, man, it's been like 15 years or something crazy like that. But the crazy thing is my discs haven't changed that much in all these years. I've been with Grip for a long time, at least 10 years, maybe longer, maybe like 12 years. Innova, I think I've been with since almost the beginning. I played for about a year. Then I got picked up by Innova, so that's been close to 20 years. Then I got sponsor Zuka this year. They make a great cart. And then obviously Fly Green, new sponsor this year. So super excited about that. I'll start off with some putters. That's usually how these things tend to go. Toro, I threw a Gator for many, many years. It was hard to replace, but the Toro has actually replaced that. The reason being I can throw a very similar shot as the Gator with the Toro, but then I can throw shots with the Toro that I can't throw with the Gator. So it just fills that same slot, but it's more versatile. Incredibly good disc. My main putters, in the back here. Main putters, I've gone to the Firefly. Very similar to the Alpaca P2. It's a very similar run that's been around for years. It's basically a beadless AVR. Max weight, of course. Those are my main go-to putters. The Alpaca I still have from a couple years ago where I got a bunch of them. These are just my straight tunnel shot putter discs, approach discs that I can throw at any speed. Straightest discs, straightest putters that I have, so they might be in my bag forever. Those are my main putters right there. Moving on to this thing, this Rollo. I did not think a disc like this would ever make it in my bag. I had no clue. But I got them just to play with them. And I throw two main grips. I throw a power grip for most of my shots. On anything with distance, I throw a power grip. But I throw a fan grip for any rock, putter, fairway driver. I throw this weird middle finger out. Nobody else that I know does that. But the reason I'm saying that is I'm able to throw that grip and throw rollers, touch rollers with a disc that I've never been able to throw with this grip before. So it immediately becomes less distance, more accurate roller shots. And I can't, even my super old rocks, I can't get to flip like this thing. So it's in the bag and I can't believe it. I cannot throw an air shot with it, specifically for rollers only, and not anything at a distance, unless it's like a cut roller. But I can't believe it's in my bag, but it is this year. Moving on to mid-ranges, I've got not many in the bag. A lot of people used to say that like bummers were my strength or distance was my strength, but I honestly think throwing a straight rock shot is my strength. It's something that I put so much time into that now I can do it with the best of them. We'll go from flippiest. This is my World's discs from 2 years ago, and they are a flat KC Pro run. The reason I think that is important is that I haven't seen a flat KC Pro run since the 11 times, whenever that was, 10, 12 years ago when those came out, and I've been looking ever since. And Innova made the flat run of KC Pro, and they're just magic. You threw the Ching rocks from about 18 years ago, you know what I'm talking about. You just can't get many KC Pro rocks that are just dead straight out, out of the box. These I don't have to work; they're immediately straight, and I am so thankful because now I don't have to spend all that money for those 11-time rocks that are really old. I'll switch over to the overstable Rock X. Just probably in most people's bag, it's like that cross between like that Gatorish rock. Certainly an overstable, and on a windy day I'll be pulling that out. Halo Rock 3 is in my bag this year. Love it. It's like if this gets a little beat in, it would probably turn into this. Pretty straight, and it's so cliche to say, but these things, when I hit them hard and put them on a line, they stay on that. Whereas most, like a Rock X, would come out. These rocks, if I put them on a line, they'll stay on that line, even when they're brand new. Thank Manny Trujillo for that design as well. He also did my one from last year. And then I got lucky with a glow run of Rock 3s. I wish there was a date on here. Years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, Innova made a tour series, and I got so fortunate because, again, it's a flat rock, which I love. Everybody's different. And the reason this was so important to me is because of this disc. And everybody that has seen my In the Bag or seen me play before, you have seen this disc. This is the greatest disc ever made by anyone. And if anybody tells you different, then they're wrong. I mean, because science. This thing is magic. It's a 2004 Kenny Glow Rock. And I'm still on the hunt to look for some backups. They're extremely, expensive at this point, but hands down the best disc ever made. And if I've been throwing a disc for 15 years and it's still doing what it did 15 years ago, that's a sign of a good disc. So those are my mid-ranges. Moving on, we'll just go to the fairways and start with the flippy ones. Oh, this gets confusing. I'm not proud of this right now. I'm a bit indecisive. Roller, Sean Stover did this die like years ago, some of my road runners, and this is only for rollers. Won't throw it for anything but a roller. Right now I am confused. I have 4 leopards in the bag. For me, with that fairway throw that I do, these equal a rock. They feel very similar. I can throw them very similar to a rock. The big difference is they go a lot farther. So from my halo being the most stable, with that Manny stamp from this year, the luster leopard, if anybody knows what those are, it was kind of a more stable leopard years ago. So this is my, slot 2 down on stability. This is a star leopard, and I've got 100 leopards at home. And I actually found this the day before a tournament last year up in Longmont, and it just throws so straight. It's one of the straightest leopards I've ever thrown. So it immediately went in the bag. It didn't have a name on it. Still can kind of see the sticker, but that I cannot get rid of. I cannot find a disc that goes as straight as this one does. And then I've got a Glow Leopard 3, which I thought was going to be stable, but when I started throwing them, they're flippy, super flippy. And it's not quite the Roadrunner flippy, but certainly more flippy than a straight leopard. So that's the 4 that are in my bag, from stable to super flippy, almost roller. Too many leopards in the bag. I usually shouldn't carry that many, but right now that's what, coming the off season with some new discs in the bag, I don't know exactly what's going to work, so I got 4 of those in there right now. Moving over, I thought I had another one over here somewhere. I think it's on here. So Savant, I want to thank Joel for that Savant. He gave this to me last season, and the Savant is that stereotypical 9-speed that I feel like people started really throwing the last couple years, and I didn't have that. I went leopard to Firebird to Destroyer. Back in the day I threw a max. I didn't have anything that was like a 9-speed. So I started kind of working with them, and what I wanted was a faster leopard. This run of Savant is great, and Joel was able to give me that one and got me hooked on the Savant. And so I've got my own Halo Savant now with that same Manny stamp, and it's just a more stable version of this. Typically I wouldn't throw that into a headwind. That's where the PD comes in. So these are the old Innova manufactured PDs. Love them, 9-speed, quite a bit more stable than the Savant. And the Thunderbird, Luster Thunderbird. So it's not a typical Thunderbird. The original Thunderbird and the PD were very close. They weren't quite the same. The PD was a little more stable, and the Thunderbird was a little straighter. The Luster Thunderbird is not a typical Thunderbird. Pretty much a Firebird. I wish I would never have sold them. I sold a bunch of them back in the day, and now I see people throwing them, and I just want them back. It's hard to find something like this, but it's sort of a cross between a PD Thunderbird and a Firebird. And I love these things. I'm more of a yank over tunnel shot thrower as opposed to a hyzer flip guy, and these are perfect for that. And then of course in my bag is Firebird. I've had a Firebird in my bag ever since the beginning. Back in the day, I grew up playing quarterback, and I was a pitcher in baseball, and so I threw a lot of thumbers. The old flat top, Firebirds are the most distance, but then every forehand chip shot, backhand chip shot, very, very versatile disc. Everybody knows the Firebird, and I've had them in my bag for 20 years. Moving on to a little more high-speed stuff, and I'll just start with the flippy stuff. I've got Halo Wraiths in my bag, very popular. This is my main distance. If I'm going to throw something high and have it carry right the whole way, I'll be throwing a Halo Wraith. One of my students actually gave me this couple years ago. Shout out to Linus Fulmer. It's in the bag, and I still haven't taken his phone number off. Maybe I should do that. So if you get a call, Linus, I'd love to get that back from you. And then I've got quite a few destroyers in the bag. Obviously, my main disc, pretty much everybody on Innova throwing destroyers. I've got 3 destroyers in the bag right now. The older Calvin Halo run from 2 or 3 years ago. The Calvin run that was a little bit newer, and I heard those are sought after as well. And then I've got a Halo destroyer with my name on it from a couple years ago. And these are more golf discs. I think it's one of the best golf discs ever made. 12 speed that you know is going to hook up at the end. And I can throw a lot of S shots. I used to throw distance with this, but then I went to the Wraith, and now I haven't thrown a Boss. It's been years, 10 years. And then last year they started back in my bag again. And now that's my main distance driver is a Halo Boss. I won the Masters distance competition with the Halo Boss last year. Love them for just ripping them, get them as far as I can at any elevation. And then this year, new in the bag is a Color Glow Boss, which a few people told me about, and they're very similar. It's just I don't have to rip them as far, and they glide way further. So this is almost a cheater disc for me. And everything is max weight. It just confuses me to start playing around with the weights. So everything for me is max weight. And then I've got a Johnny Roberts Luster PD2. I've had a Luster PD2 in my bag ever since they came out. A lot of people say they're too stable, but I'm that like rip over kind of person. Love the Luster PD2, and I've been on the hunt for these for many years. I just cannot find something that can replace these. The Innova manufactured Luster PD2 is another one that just cannot go out of the bag, I don't think. They're just absolutely necessary. And then a lot of people say the Juggernaut is too much and it's broken, and I love it. I've been looking for that disc that I can throw into a 60-mile-an-hour headwind and still trust it. I got another one from Joel last year that I also throw. It's not in the bag right now because I need to get rid of something to get out for it to fit. The one that he gave me is the Halo run that came out right away when the Juggernauts first came out. And they're stable. It's a little more stable max, a little slower PD2. But this one that I just got over the winter, I got a bunch of these in, and this is just even way more stable than those ones. There's zero glide to these things, and when I throw them, they immediately hook up and drop. But in Colorado, you got a lot of low trees. You see a lot of people will throw a flex shot, but they need it to come over and just knife down in the ground. And so the Juggernaut is the disc that I have been looking for many years. And that's it. I got my patches from Grip. Shout out to them again. Great bag, the AX4, big as it can get. Loving the new cart, and it's going to be a good season. I love the new pants as well. I have to give a shout out to these guys. They got the mini pocket on the side, and the coolest thing I think Fly Green has done with the clothes that they're coming out with, obviously they look super fly. They look really good, but they've got microfiber towels built in the pocket, which is insane. You can't lose your towel. And I'm a sweaty palm kind of person, and so I can just put my hands in my pocket, and I've got 2 microfiber towels right in the pocket. So can't beat that. That's my bag. Hasn't changed too much since like 15 years ago. A few new things in there, but for the most part, Leopard, Firebird, Destroyer, Rock, AVR. Pretty much the same thing as 15 years. It's just newer and looks a lot better. It's mine in the bag.
Is there anything that you usually carry in your pockets that you feel like showcasing?
I don't have it in here, but I'm a bag. It's funny. It's like an ongoing joke for
Chalk bag?
Bag of dirt. I normally carry a bag of dirt. I actually have been caught going through the airport, and I had a chalk bag, like a rock climbing chalk bag full of dirt, and I had to explain to them that it's a bag of dirt. Like, why? It's special though. I find the right dirt and it just feels right. Chalk doesn't feel right. All the little baggies that they're coming out with disc golf, it just doesn't feel right. Nothing beats that Colorado dirt. There's certain places that have the best dirt, and I actually will stock up when I find the right stuff. Kind of embarrassing to say, but I don't have it with me, but it's a chalk bag that I carry with just a bag of dirt, and it goes with me. Not so much in Colorado on dry days, because it's dry enough that I can just clean my hands off or just use dirt that's on the ground. But if I go to the Midwest, if I'm at Northwoods Black or something like that, you're guaranteed to see me carrying a bag of dirt around. It has to be just that Colorado feel of dirt. And I got a stock of it in my van, like a gallon that I can't run out. I've run out before, and it kind of scares me. It has to be perfect. I also love, I got that mini from Joel. I don't know, we were talking about it, how many years ago I got that from him, but I love it because I can see it. I'm colorblind. That's something else you'll notice is I carry everything bright. I can't see an orange disc on orange grass. I can't see orange paint on orange grass. And I know you're thinking that orange, grass isn't orange, but it is to me. So I carry everything super bright so I can see it along with that mini. It was just like perfect. I always have AG1 athletic greens in my bag as well. I'm old now and I stopped taking vitamins, protein drinks. I take one of these. I think everybody gets nervous. And I don't like to eat when I get nervous, so I chug a bottle of AG1. I just put it into a bottle and I chug it to stay hydrated. And then I've always got one in here, and it kind of supplements, feels like a meat in a salad. I get all the nutrients I need in one of these little packets, so I've always got some of these in there. And then you'll see in all the videos, on YouTube with me, I always carry a towel. I've always been kind of sweaty. Even if I think about rock climbing, my hands start to sweat, and sometimes you're out there and you get a little nervous, your palms get a little sweaty, and so I always carry a towel. That's something that even when I'm putting, I've always got a towel in my hand. Even when I'm out practice putting, it feels weird if I don't have a towel in my hand. So I think that's pretty much everything. And the cool thing about the Zuka cart this year, since everybody has to keep score, I can actually put my phone right in that little putter holder that's in the back there. I still don't know if I'm going to do it because I hate being on my phone. I don't like having my phone out at tournaments. I'm probably going to be the guy that just uses paper. I like it that everybody has to keep score. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to be on my phone. If my wife needs something, I don't want to know about it until after the round. So I'll be probably keeping score on paper. But that's it. That's everything that I can think of. It's in the bag. Thank you, Fly Green.